Hello friends, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back. My name is Elise, and this is my mystical, spooky bookshelf. Excuse me. And today I have a very exciting book review. I'm finally going to review Shady Hollow by Juno Black, and this was a cozy mystery. And I had bought this book a while ago when I went to visit my parents in Michigan, but I had kept putting it off about reading it, and I have no idea why. I don't know why I do that. But I ended up getting, I started a free trial for Everand, because apparently it's sort of like Audible, but you get 3 credits for $16 instead of 1 credit for $14, so I might end up doing a subscription to that. But I ended up just doing the free trial because I just wanted to see what it was all about. And for the free trial, you only get 1 credit, understandably. But, so I used that credit to listen to Shady Hollow, and I was not as thrilled about it as I thought it was going to be. Don't get me wrong, it was pretty good, but it was more like a 3-star, not necessarily a 5-star. So the premise with Shady Hollow is it's about animals that, think of it like Animal Crossing. That's how I felt about it. It felt like characters from Animal Crossing, but like make it darker, make it more like they're all hiding something, or there's like dark secrets with them. And it's not lighthearted by any means. This is a cozy mystery that's leans heavily on the cozy, but it is also at times very dark, and it was very interesting to listen to and to read. And we follow the main character on the cover. Her name is Vera Vixen. She's a fox, and she is a reporter. And I guess someone in Shady Hollow, he is a toad. He goes missing, and people find out that he got unalived by someone. And, excuse me, we don't know who. So Vera Vixen, we have to follow her through the story to figure out who had unalived Mr. Toad. And that's not really his name. I don't really remember his name. One of them, oh, I think her name's Otto. His name's Otto. So his name's Otto. I have the book in front of me and I'm trying to look through it, so if I'm looking down, that's why. So he is the main dude that gets the short end of the stick in terms of this cozy mystery. And the interesting part of this book, and I found this helpful, it gives you a list of characters, if you can see that. So it says there's Gladys Honeysuckle, because there's lots of animals in this realm, so at times it was kind of hard for me to follow. But you see, there's lots of characters in this book. So when you're reading it, I would suggest going back to this and referencing it if you get confused, because that's kind of what I did. And when I was listening to it, it was kind of hard for me to follow a little bit, I guess. But overall, it wasn't too bad. But so yeah, we start off, we don't meet Vera Vixen right away. We meet Gladys Honeysuckle, and she's a hummingbird woman, and she's the one who finds Otto, and she finds his body. And so we go through her thought process in chapter 1, and then she ends up telling everyone about it, and she talks to Vera about it specifically. And Vera does the news on this little realm of animals, and she has to get to the bottom of, well, I don't think she necessarily has to, but I think she's expected to get to the bottom of this. And she is she's cunning, obviously, for being a fox, and she goes through all these different clues about who it could be, and she has to, like, override the police a little bit, because the police animals in this book are they don't really take it seriously, I don't think, especially the chief. But I think Deputy Orville, he's a bear. He's the one who takes it a little bit more seriously. But him and Vera kind of have a rivalry. And what I thought was interesting with this was they end up having like a romance, the bear and the fox. And I don't think it's outlandish necessarily because it's like Animal Crossing to me. It's just like two villagers getting together, I guess. But, I mean, they didn't really have any chemistry up until, like, the very end, so I thought the romance was kind of weird. I don't think it needed a romance, necessarily. It felt kind of forced. That's how it felt to me. But, yeah, so we go through Vera finding out all of the clues and stuff. And I really didn't guess who it was until, like, I don't think I ever guessed who it was. I was trying to go through it in my head who I thought it would be, and a lot of it was pointing towards the panda bear named Sun Li, who is this really sweet guy who came over from China, obviously because he's a panda bear. And he owns this Chinese restaurant in this world. And a lot of people are suspicious about him. And I'm like, but why? He's so nice. He's so sweet. That's kind of another weird thing I found about this book, is that there's strange stereotypes depending on, like, the ethnicity of the animal or like the region of origin that they're from. I don't know, it felt really weird. Like, people were leery of a panda bear, and I'm like, it makes no sense. I feel like pandas would be like the sweetest animals on the earth. But there's also another weird stereotype of excuse me, let me take a drink of my coffee, maybe that'll help. There's also another weird stereotype of, like, I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. It's a raccoon. He's a raccoon, and he's known to be a thief. And I guess realistically, since raccoons eat out of the trash, you would expect them to be a criminal if they had more of a personality. But he didn't end up doing it, and Sun Li didn't end up doing it. And I also thought it was interesting, like, there's this sheep character in this book, and her name is Ruby, and she's one that I didn't suspect at all, but, spoiler alert, she's the one who did it. She was best friends with Otto, and she accidentally unalived him, I guess, because she's having an affair with a beaver in this story, and she is really upset with the beaver. I can't remember his name. Let me look. So Ruby Ewing, that is the sheep, and she's the one who was the suspect in the end that did it, and I was very surprised by that. And she's having an affair with, where's his name? Reginald von Beaverpelt. They're like the richest family in the whole animal region of Shady Hollow. And I mean, he ends up dead too, Reginald, and I think Ruby unalived both of them because she was upset that he didn't end up wanting to be with her. He wanted to try and make amends with his wife, and this was a very messy story, now that I'm thinking about it. It was very strange, and I was kind of disappointed with how they portrayed the sheep character. They made her seem like she was a hussy, I guess, for a lack of a better word. Like, they made it seem like she was someone who slept around a lot, and it just felt strange how it was portrayed because it really came out of nowhere, and I'm like, why are we judging someone so harshly? about this. It just feels really strange, and I just feel like it was presented weirdly. And I had no idea that the sheep and the beaver even had a thing going on. Like, it kind of alluded to Reginald having an affair with someone, but it wasn't really, they didn't explicitly say who or even, like, name anyone. I wouldn't have thought it was Ruby, personally. But, I mean, there's not many other characters that it could have been. I think the character list is very specific to this book, because I know there are other books in this series, and they probably also list characters. So I'm thinking that they have this list so that you can go through it yourself and be like, okay, who do I think did this? Who do I think did that? And I think it's supposed to be more of like a reader interactive thing, but when I'm listening to it at work, I don't have the capacity to think about it like that. I'm kind of just going through the story and letting it be told to me. I'm not very active in it. So maybe if I would have actually like read it and made notes about it and went through the character list myself, I probably would have had a much more enjoyable time. I will say, I think the best part of this book for me is that Vera is best friends with a raven named Lenore, and she's really cute. That's the coziest part of this book, is Lenore. She owns a bookshop, and she's a raven, and she's adorable, and she's my favorite character in this book. And her and Vera's friendship is very sweet. And I would say my least favorite part of the book is the fact that Vera and Orville end up dating. I'm like, girl, where'd that come from? It didn't happen. It was weird to me. It felt very forced. Like, from the beginning, they act like they don't like each other, but then they end up liking each other. And it just felt very strange. It was like no build-up, no nothing. I think for future books, for this, I don't know if I'm going to read them, but I really think the romance was not necessary. I think you could have just gone with the cozy mystery vibes, the friendship vibes, and, like, not made it any more deep than that, because the romance didn't add anything to me. It didn't add anything for me. It would just seemed weird, and I wanted to like Vera and Orville because I think it's cute, because I mean a bear kind of reminds me of my husband, but I mean I'm more of a rabbit, so if we were in this we would be a rabbit and a bear. But I digress. I wanted to like the romance, but it just felt forced. And it just felt really dramatic in the end, too. Like, Ruby kind of just throws herself off a cliff and is like, I'm gonna just off myself because nobody likes me and nobody ever liked me. And that was another weird thing in the book, is the weird dialect. Like, some of the characters, like Ruby has a southern accent, like what I just did, for, like, no reason that I can think would be applicable to the story. So it was just really dramatic in the end. And I don't know, I didn't like it as much as I thought I would, which is very upsetting because this book was kind of expensive. But, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll give it to McKay's, see if they'll take it. And I don't know if I'll read any more of these books because I felt like it was sort of poorly written, a little bit. I don't know, it just wasn't what I expected from a cozy mystery. And I have read lots of cozy mysteries, so I can confidently say that I do like them. I just didn't like this one, and it was disappointing to me. But yeah, I mean, I checked it off my TBR now. It was in my TBR video, so I'm glad that I checked off one other book that I had on my TBR. But yeah, so those are my thoughts on it. I mean, I guess overall, the overview of this would be, I would read it, I would recommend it. I would just go into it with, like, what I said, being more interactive with it, maybe. Like, it might be fun to, like, grab a notebook and look at the character list, and as you're reading it, maybe stop and take notes and add, like, this person has this trait, or this person did that, this person was seen on this place at this time. And maybe if you kind of can figure it out yourself, you'd have more fun reading it. But yeah, so those are my thoughts on that. It was disappointing, to say the least. And I give it a solid 3-star. It was just middle of the road, cozy mystery. not super cozy, but the mystery part was okay. But yeah, so thank you for watching, and thank you for supporting me, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye, friends!